Hi, it's Kelly. I've tried to make this video a bunch of times today, and unfortunately I keep getting interrupted or something happens, so let's keep our fingers crossed that I make it through this one. If not, this time I'll try to pause the video and just hold it and then come back to the video to finish what I'm saying without having to re-record again, because this is getting a bit much saying the same thing. I've said this first 3 minutes of this video about 10 times, and what the first 3 minutes say is, welcome to stem cell transplant day plus 10. Your white cells are now 0.2 up from 0.1. That is a great move in the right direction. It means that the 0.1 was real, because sometimes they get blips. And the doctor said I should have a fair amount more by tomorrow, and then they'll start to rise fairly quickly. So I'm excited about that. My platelets went from 15 to 16, so another move in the right direction, and I didn't get down low enough to need a transfusion. So I'm totally blessed. Several patients need to get transfusions for their platelets. So very fortunate about that. I still have my hair. It's probably not going to be here too much longer, so I'm playing with it while I can. The last number was my hemoglobin. Hemoglobin, yes. And that went from 8.2 to 8.5. Again, in the right direction, and that means I probably won't need a red blood cell transfusion either. So all the numbers were good today. Everybody was happy with them. The only thing that everybody is really concerned about is my throat and my esophagus. This has been probably one of the worst cases they've seen, just because I haven't been able to eat or drink for at least 5 days, I think it's been. So instead of just giving me, the first day or two they gave me like bags of water, now I'm on it all day long, and also other things like sodium and potassium and other things that I will need to keep myself going. I'm not on like food or anything yet. I'm really hoping that my esophagus will start feeling better and I'll be able to swallow again. Basically what happens is every time I swallow, pain shoots like someone's sticking an ice pick in my right ear, and now it's even gotten to a point where it feels like somebody's sticking something, at least not as sharp, but something in my left ear. They've been very good. They put me on almost every antibiotic there was, just in case it was strep or something like that. They've been really thorough. So I know if this doesn't get better soon, they'll look more into addressing the situation. But I'm still, unfortunately, because I'm trying to bring down some water ice, that I am still getting hunger pains. Hold on. All right, that was just another interruption that I had to talk through her coming in here to bring my dinner. This is my dinner for tonight. It is called Chocolate Magic Cup. It has 9 grams of protein and 290 calories. I was able to get a third of one of these down in about an hour's time, just little bits, trying to not make myself actually swallow, but more like dissolve it. It's hard to explain, but I'm going to try to get some of that down tonight. But that's probably why I'm still having hunger pains, because I'm still like trying my best to try to get something down, because my body really needs the nutrition to make all these new blood cells. It needs good food so that it has good things to make myself a whole new good immune system. So that's the health update. I got that out with only one interruption. So let's see if I can talk about the other stuff I want to talk about tonight without any further interruptions. There's one topic I want to talk about, and that might be a little long, but I think it's important. About halfway through this process, I got the book from Dr. Kellie called Radical Remission. And in that book, she talks about the 9 factors that people with like stage 4 cancers had, that they did, and they went into complete remission. So I'm just looking down at my tablet now because I had all of her things broken down here. So I just want to list them to you guys because I want you to hear what these 9 things were. Some of them are very obvious. Dietary changes, herbal supplement use. So those 2 things are taking control of what you're eating and your vitamins, etc., improving that. Taking control of your health, actively seeking second opinions, researching treatment options, communicating with your insurance providers directly. Things like that make a big difference. And that's something that I've done. I've looked stuff up and I've sent it to my doctors and I've said, like, what about this? And they'll be like, oh yeah, or no, you know. But that's really important. You can't just sit back and assume that the first doctor you saw understands your problem and can make it better. I learned that the hard way. Another one is following your intuition. That is so key. I got intuition about 3 times to not go down to get my treatment. And finally, the last time that happened, I didn't go back. This was back when I got really sick in 2020. And if I hadn't listened to my intuition at that time and gone back, I would have died. That's what the doctor here told me. I would not have made it. So, but meanwhile, my intuition was telling me to stop going for a couple trips back. And I finally heard it because I was just like, it was like my intuition started screaming, do not go. And so I'm really been working on finding ways to get in touch with my intuition. And I'd love to hear about how people get in touch with their intuition in the comments because I'm still working on learning that. I'm a very science-heady person, so the next one is emotional release. And that is basically being able to tell people what you're feeling. Like if somebody hurts you, you can tell them. Sometimes it may mean journaling, maybe journaling about a situation. And hopefully you can afford some therapy as well to get some emotional release and some of your upset out. Positive emotions is another one. Cultivating optimism and gratitude are huge. Social support, having a social group of people around you supporting you, like you guys are for me right now, is another one. So that is, you're helping me right there. Social support and having a support network. And lastly, a spiritual connection. And that's what I hope to, after I get through the stem cell process, to move this channel to. I want to move it to a place where we talk about those spiritual connections and we talk about all kinds of things and how we can improve and become more kind and enlightened beings as we populate the earth, because it seems like it's moving in a different direction. So those were her, I think 9, I read all of them on the list, things for radical remission. And I've made a lot of changes to how I behave based on what I learned in that book, and also from a book by Louise Hay. You know, how you can hear yourself. Louise Hay, excellent book as well. So both of those I would recommend if you're going through something like this. The last thing I want to address is the video I made yesterday where I talked about having to give boundaries. Unfortunately, one of the people in my life thought the whole video was about them, and they took it very personally and have gotten very upset. And all I know to say is that I had to cut out sort of, but put on hold at least 10 people. There are at least 10. And it's because I have had a pattern in my life of being the helper, of being the one that always came to help, always listens to people's emotions, always tried to make them feel better. But the people in my relationships were not doing that reciprocally with me. It wasn't reciprocal. I can't say that word, oh gosh. You know what I mean though. And right now, I didn't have the energy to be putting out to be like people's helpers. I need people to put energy into me and be my helper now. So I basically tried to say that in the best words possible to everyone that I communicated that to. It makes me feel very upset that a single person in my life would think that I would make a whole video about them and take this so very personally. I wish that wasn't the case, but there's absolutely nothing that I can do about that. Because, you know, as we all know, people will believe what they want to believe. And filters that people have sometimes cause them to see things that aren't really there. So I'm hoping that at some point, this person will realize that these journals are about me, about my healing, and about what I'm learning and trying to help others going through the process. This is me and my emotional release, which is one of my things on my list. And that I am not the kind of person to ever single out somebody, especially on a public forum. So I just wanted to say that, and that I love you all so very, very, very much. I swear I feel the prayer army, I feel the social support, and I really do need it, and I greatly appreciate it. And if you're going through this with me, I'm going to be sending love and light out to you, as I'm sure everyone who watches this video will. Love you all.